Right, then you're with former lightweight champion Jason Cook. How's it going, Jace?
I'm good, John.
Jace, can we start from the beginning and can you tell me how you first got involved in boxing, please?
I just got involved. My brother Chris was doing it. He was a good amateur himself, and I remember we played in a cricket tournament that day and we got beat in the first round, and I wanted something to do after, so I went and asked the local amateur trainer, could I go to the gym? And he said yeah, he didn't mind me. I was a little bit of a rogue them days and I didn't expect it to last. That was 1986.
How old was you then?
I was 11.
Can you tell us about your amateur career, how many fights you had and what you achieved?
I was an amateur. I was win and lose one as a schoolboy in youth. I won 3 Welsh schools titles and a Welsh youth title, but as a senior, after my career excelled, I ended up with 56 senior fights, 151. I think about 30 of them by KO.
Yeah.
Which was tough in the amateurs them days. I won 4 Welsh titles, 2 at featherweight, 1 at lightweight, 1 at light-welterweight, and become the first man ever to win them at the first attempt. Joe Calzaghe did it at the second attempt. So I won the ABA title in '93. I won 2 Coppers Cup gold medals, the Italian Cup bronze, and I rounded off with a Commonwealth Games silver in '94.
Yeah, so some good achievements here then.
Yeah, some tidy achievements there. I know they're 20 years ago, but still I'll never lose their memories.
Are you happy with your career and what you've actually achieved in boxing?
Yes, I'm happy. You know, some people say I've underachieved. Personally, I think I've overachieved. When I turned pro, I would have been happy just to make a top 10 fighter in Britain. And when I was at the peak of my career, like I was up there, I know I wasn't as good as them, but I was number 7 by the WBC in amongst the likes of Floyd Mayweather and people like that. You know, it was unbelievable. Like. Yeah.
Your last fight with Tony Pace, up until the stoppage, how did you feel the fight was going?
I think I was winning the fight. I thought I won the first round comfortable. Second round I might have just edged. Third round I was a bit sloppy, and I let Tony get back into the fight because I thought I'd hurt him in the second round, and I went head hunt in third round. It was a bit silly. But in the fourth round then I just went back to what I'd done the first 2 rounds, and I caught him with the shot we'd worked on in the gym for the previous 8 weeks, you know.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you're known for the big left hook, but unless you caught him with the right, is this something you planned or you've been working on in the gym?
No, I know I can hit with the right hand. It happened in Price fight the first time. Michael Grant trained to keep away from my left hook, you know. I'm right-handed. I don't know how I generate so much power in my left hook. I still can't fathom that out, but it was something I was born with, I suppose. But I've always been able to hit with the right hand. A lot of my stoppages early on in my career were with the right hands as well.
Yeah. Just watching you training, I can notice the power and the difference in your left hand.
Yeah, I don't know where I generate the power from. There is some people are born with, like, look at Enzo Macronelli. He's the same. Like, he's explosive with his left hand. I think his left hand is more explosive than his right hand. You look at Ricky Hatton, exactly the same. And we're all right-handed people, but we're more explosive with our left hand.
Going into the Pace fight, that was training and preparation?
Training was brilliant. It was a great camp. You know, I started training in the end of November for it, sacrificed Christmas and everything. You know, went 12 weeks without a drink. Didn't worry me, and I really enjoyed it. You know, obviously I come down a jump in weight because I took 6 months off previous to it.
Yeah.
But since then, I've been back in the gym ready for prize fighter. You know, Ed's been on it.
The fight was meant to have been at 10 stone, but you couldn't make the weight. What was the reason behind that?
I'd already said a couple of weeks beforehand I wanted to catch weight. I wasn't going to do it at 10 stone because, to be honest, I'd come down from 13 stone 10. I hadn't boxed since the April. I admit I went out, enjoyed my life for 6 months, but missed the game. I wanted to get back in it because when I lost to Glenn Foot, I was going through a court case with my children trying to fight for access, and it was very difficult. I should never have fought Glenn Foot. But the warrior I am, I wanted to go through with it and try to get through it that way. And I took a little break after that, but it turned out to be a little break turned into a very long break.
Yeah. And
I missed the game. I love the game. I just wish I hadn't had so many gaps in between it now.
Have you got the love back for the sport now?
I've got the love back. People might think it's a bit late at 39, but 39 is just a number to me. I'm training hard, and I'm training as hard, if not even harder, when I was IBO World Champion and European Lightweight Champion.
Why do you think that is?
Because I'm with a fab trainer who believes in me, got belief in me, and it was belief I didn't have in myself for a little while. I lost self-belief in that. But he's inspired me, and he's had belief in me. He's committed a lot. His methods have been brilliant. You know, his methods I'm doing with him now, I never thought possible I could do.
Yeah. How did you strike partnership with Darren Wilson?
Well, I know Darren since the amateur days, and it was when I decided to make a comeback, I was training with an old friend called Bill Ross.
Yeah.
But Bill Ross in South Earlier once we were training for my comeback fight. So then I then asked Darren, what do you train me like?
Laughing because cookie spawn just went off.
Sorry, Matt.
Right, at the time going into the pace fight there, you said that was going to be your last fight. Why have you decided to continue fighting?
I think I just jumped the gun there. It was premature because I always said I wanted to retire in Wales. I didn't want to retire against no journeyman. Although people say I know about Tony Pace's record, his record's misleading. You know, he's a better fighter than his record suggests. So I wanted a war, and I knew if I fought the likes of Tony Pace, it's going to be a war. I announced my retirement because at the time I thought it was the right thing to do. But the training went so well, and I thought round about the Christmas time period, I was like, oh, am I going to retire? And I'm in Llanharan. But you know, the chance of prize fighter came along. You can never turn prize fighter down. It's a penalty shootout, and you know, there's big rewards after it if you do well in it.
Why do you think it seems so arduous for boxers to walk away from the sport?
I don't know. I think it's the same with any sport really, but more boxing, because with boxing it's what you do on your own. You know, if you football, you pass the ball to other people and things. With boxing, it's something you've done yourself then, and I just love the game. I love the game since 1986. I probably like the game. Obviously, I like the game, but I wouldn't have gone into it. Yeah. But I'm back in love with the game. There was a couple of years where I hated the game. It was more politics. But now with the things going on, especially Welsh boxing is on the up. You know, I'm a bit gutted. I'm not going to be part of it further down the line now because, you know, I am pushing 40, so I can't go on forever. What do you think you'll do after boxing? I'd like to stay in the game. I'd get involved with the amateurs and that, and I'd like to give something back what I've had out of it. I had a fab amateur career. I travelled the world, met some lovely people, and like even now with this prize fighter, the guys I met there, all lovely people, but it's business next week at the end of the day, and it goes out the window. I just want to stay in the game. I'd probably take 6 months break after I retire. Yeah. But my 6 months might turn into like a month this time because I know I'm going to miss the game. Like, so I've got to stay involved somehow with it. How did you get the opportunity to get into this prize fighter? I'm a matchroom fighter, and I thought to myself, you know, before I fought Tony Pace, if I could put on a show here, you know, there's no way they can't let me on it. I knew there was going to be a lot of young prospects in there. 1 or 2 boys on the perimeters. I thought, you know, they must have 1 or 2 experienced boys in there, and you know, they didn't have to look far. I was at the end of the phone and willing to accept. How's training been going, Jess, for this? Training's been great. After Tony Pace's fight, I took a week off because I just was a little bit achy, like a couple of days after. So I just took a couple of days off. I was back in the gym the week Monday after. Hoping that we'd get the opportunity of a prize fighter. We were straight back and we were training in case it happened, and within 2 weeks we had the call. And I personally think this is a better camp than the Tony Pace fight. Yeah. And that was the fab camp. You've been in prize fighter before, just losing to the winner, Gavin Rees. Do you think you got a better chance this round? I've got a far better chance now. When I boxed in it the first time, I think everybody will say you'll never get a mix of boxers in a prize fight like I have again. Out of the 8 of us, 6 of us had been there, like British, European and world champions. There was no shame in losing to Gavin, although I got dropped. It was a very close fight. I've got the experience in this now, and I'm looking forward to it. Sam Edgerton got a bit of experience in it, and I think he'd be up for it too. But there's a lot of youngsters in it who are probably going to be a bit wary of me, and I'm just looking forward now to fighting on Saturday.
Do you think you're in a really good chance of winning this?
I think I'm in with a very, very good chance, but I honestly think anybody can win it. It's whoever wants it on the night. And if I take what I've done in the gym the last 6-7 weeks into that ring, I honestly can't see nobody beating me.
No. Can you tell us a bit about your daily routine regarding training leading up to this? Or?
Well, something, I'm training twice, 3 times a day because I've got the love for the game back, you know. I took a bit of time off work again for it, and I just can't fault training every session I've had. I just want to be in the, you know, I've loved the training. I go home, I'm looking forward to the next day's training. I just want to be in the gym. And if that wasn't me like 6 months ago,
no.
You know, I'd rather be in the pub, you know, but now I just want to be in that ring. Like.
Is it different intense training for a prize fighter?
Yeah, it is. It's not worth training as if you're in the 12 rounder. My stamina is good to go 12 because I'm still fit from the last fight. I'm still doing the running, like I'm doing 6-8 mile runs, sometimes hills. But in the gym, I'm changing about a bit and like doing 9-minute rounds with class now as a fight. Having a little bit, it's not a break, I'm doing like a lot of cardio on in between. It's a lot more cardio for this, I think, because if you're going to train for a 12 round, I think you're going to try to pace yourself. Prize fighter, you haven't got a lot of time to pace yourself. You've got to win that first round. Yeah. And that's the plan, is to get out there, every fight, make sure I win that first round. It'd be nice if I could win 3 fights all in the first round, it would be lovely.
Yeah. Have you been doing much sparring leading up to this, Chef?
We didn't spar, we got from sparring last week. Sparring's gone well, everything's gone touch wood, you know, no cuts, nothing, you know, no injuries. And I'm just looking forward to taking what I've done in training into that ring. I'm excited.
What do you enjoy most about training?
Well, everything about it. Like I love my road work, especially if I got my music on. If I haven't got my music on, I'm terrible. It just seems longer then, but I just love, you know, being in amongst it all. You know, I've even been doing funky pump classes, you know, because the fitness of that is brilliant. I've been doing a session for an hour with Darren, then doing an hour funky pump to mix it up, and it's been great, you know, the circuits and things, and I just love everything about the training, everything about the boxing game. Yeah.
Have you got a worst part of training, or what's the worst part about being a boxer? Everyone says the diet. What's
people
the diet
say the diet. No, well, like I say, my worst attribute as a boxer is I've had too long off in between fights. You know, I probably could have had 10 more fights over the last few years, but I've just been lazy that way, you know, and you know, that's not going to happen again. You know, I could be, you know, this could be my last. I don't know. I'm treating each fight as if it's my last, but it's making me train that a lot harder.
Do you try and study your opponents before fight days?
No, I've been in the game 28 years now, so there's no need to study. I I don't even get on nerves, which is a bit silly. I just got to go in and do what I got to do. That's the business.
Well, what's next after prize fight? That win or lose?
I don't look at what's next. Like I said, I train as if it's my last fight. Let's just see how prize fight it goes. I take it one fight at a time because it could be my last. Hopefully it won't be, but let's just get prize fight over and done with. The only title I've never fought for as a pro is the Commonwealth title. So if prize fighter goes well, I just love to have one shot at that before I call it a day.
You open to your Matchrooms next show in Cardiff, May the 17th?
Well, like I said, let's just see how prize fighter goes, and I'll be back in the gym on the following Monday. So prize fighter's over on a Saturday. I'll have the Sunday off to enjoy myself. I'll be back in the gym Monday and open for a call for the Matchroom show. But that all depends on how I perform on Saturday.
Yeah. Just can you tell us what's your most memorable achievement in boxing?
Most memorable achievement will go back to my amateur days in 1993.
Yeah.
When I beat Marcus McRae at Fitzroy Lodge Club in London for the ABA title. That's by far my most memorable moment.
Yeah, okay. How can boxing fans follow your progress? Well, on social media?
They know, yeah, I've got a good following on Facebook. I've got a Twitter account, but I forgot my password, so I don't go on it now. But yeah, you know, my brother Craig, fair play, he's coming up to the fight next week, and he's always over Facebook as well, Team Cook, so even had Craig on Facebook because he's a bit nuttier than me, I can tell you that.
Is that possible?
Yeah, he is. He's a younger version of me then.
Yeah. Alright, just before we go, any final words?
No, well, you know, I'm just looking forward to next week, and fingers crossed it go well, and hopefully I can bring his prize fighter back to Wales, you know, and look on from there then.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to wish you all the best, Jess, and the
Cheers,
prize fighter, and hopefully see you back in the ring again, and speak to you again soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Ta.